few days ago, a new movie of the Resident Evil saga came out, and so we have a new kill count with a bunch of zombies, monsters, and dead humans. That's why today on the Summarizer, Resident Evil, Welcome to Raccoon City. This is the story of a girl named Claire Redfield who lives with her brother Chris and a bunch of kids in the Raccoon City orphanage, which is an orphanage owned by the famous Umbrella Corporation. And spoiler, actually the orphanage is a front to experiment with different viruses on the kids in the orphanage. Anyway, they show that later. The important thing is that Claire wakes up one night because someone touches her hand, and what you see there that looks like an old lady zombie is actually the famous Lisa Trevor. And Umbrella did a lot of experiments with her, and well, she now looks like that and lives in some kind of subway tunnels that are connected to the orphanage. Oh, and I was scared with this part, so... Nah, actually, the movie isn't scary, and the fans of the franchise think it sucks, but it doesn't matter. I put these clips to make the recap a little more entertaining, okay?
Okay.
Moving on, this guy is William Birkin, a virologist who works for Umbrella Pharmaceuticals, and therefore also works at the orphanage to experiment on kids. Anyway, I don't think Claire still knew it, so they just lie to them, and the two siblings go back to sleep. After this, we go to a couple years later to 1998, where Claire is already an adult and asks for a ride to a truck driver who travels with his dog to Raccoon City. Because after many years of living far away, she returns to visit her brother. But at one point in the trip, they run over a woman. Well, actually the kill's deleted because the woman is still alive. Well, in fact, it's still a zombie, but the point is, it's not a kill. The important thing is that she keeps walking, the dog sucks the blood, which I guess will make it a zombie, and the woman escapes alive. Or zombie, well, you get the point. Oh, and here they tell us a little bit about the history of that place. Apparently, Raccoon City was once the home of the Umbrella Corporation, the world's largest pharmaceutical company, but now is a ghost town. Because Umbrella is transitioning to a new location, and all that remains is a skeleton crew of the last few employees, and those too poor to leave. And knowing a little bit of the history of the place now, we have to meet the rest of the main characters of this movie. This guy plays the famous Leon Kennedy, who just like in the video games is a rookie police officer for the Raccoon City Police Department, only here these two other cops are bullying him. Anyway, it's not worth knowing their names because, spoiler, the assholes are gonna die in 5 minutes. The ones whose names are worth knowing are Valentine, Wesker, and Aiken. At one point, the two stupid cops find out that a body showed up at the Spencer mansion, so they have to go there. And after the rest of the cops leave, Leon stays talking to the waitress, but the important thing is that she starts to bleed out of one of her eyes. Don't worry though, she says it's normal.
It's probably nothing.
What?
Anyway, that's weird as fuck and she should see a doctor. But still, everything is a bit weird in that place because a bird crashes against the window, and after leaving Claire in the city, we see that the truck driver's dog looks like a zombie and bites his owner's hand. Oh, and the one who is also weirder than shit is Claire's brother's neighbor, and that's because they haven't seen his mother yet.
Gentlemen, what we have here is a crazy bitch.
Among so much weird stuff, the important thing is that Claire meets her cop brother Chris, and there she tells him that she came back because she thinks there's something wrong with that place, because she watched a video of Ben Bertolucci saying that the whole city was poisoned through the water during the last years and people are getting sick. And Umbrella thought the town could rot and they could go somewhere else, but a few days ago there was a Chernobyl type leak. Yes, really, she says as in Chernobyl, but her brother doesn't believe a thing, which is the obvious, and leaves. Meanwhile, at William Birkin's house, the virologist gets a call, and from the look on his face, it seems serious. He tells his family that they need to go, and just at that moment, a siren starts to sound in the entire city. Claire also starts to listen to the sirens with her brother, but he has to go to the police station. And she wonders why her brother isn't sick and starts checking the water.
Bullshit.
And on top of that, the neighbor's eyes bleed too, and someone opens the door. Well, nothing happens though because it's just a kid, but then the neighbor comes in, Claire gets her out of the way, and she even has time to zipper up her jacket and escape on a motorcycle. Meanwhile, at the police station are all those who were in the cafeteria, plus Chris, his boss, and Vickers, who drives the helicopter. There, the chief tells them that the two policemen who were investigating a body in the house, the ones who were bullying Leon, don't answer the radio. And apparently the house in which the body is in belongs to Oswald Spencer, the creator of the Umbrella Corporation. So he tells them to get ready because they're gonna find out what the alarms mean and what happened to the rest. Oh, and while the boss was talking to them, someone sent a message to Wesker telling him to check his locker, and there it says that everything he needs to know is on that device. And finally, it also says that Raccoon City will be destroyed at 6 a.m. At one point, William almost crashes into Claire, but nothing happens here, and it's just an excuse to show us a flashback to when Claire was a girl and some doctors with William as their boss wanted to take the girl with the excuse that she was going to be adopted. And we still don't know what happened, but in the meantime, the woman in the cafe is already a zombie, and the truck driver and his dog too, and let's just say he doesn't drive very well. Because at one point the truck crashes and explodes in front of the police station. And no, he didn't die yet because he's still on fire and goes in to attack Leon when the boss appears to kill him, and now, after almost 40 minutes of film, we have the first kill. After that, they close the doors, the boss goes to hell, and Leon is left in charge of everything. The army doesn't let anyone out of the town though, fight breaks out, and the army ends up killing 4 people. After the shooting, the boss returns to the police station and there he finds the zombie dog, but when it's about to kill him, Claire appears. And now the chief's idea is to contact Chris and the rest of the cops because this way they will be able to escape by helicopter since all the routes are closed by Umbrella's army. Anyway, I don't know why I'm telling you this because the plan is gonna turn out like shit. Somewhere else in a helicopter are the rest of the protagonists who find the car of his partners and enter the Spencer mansion looking for the 2 missing cops. At one point they split into 2 groups and Chris sees one of the cops they were looking for being eaten by a zombie. And I think that Marini guy doesn't show up again, so we count him as 1 kill, and the one we also count as the zombie because they end up killing him. There, Aker goes to look for help, but there appear a lot of zombies that end up eating him. Chris is also attacked by zombies, but as he is the main character, he obviously survives, and although he shoots a lot of zombies, he only kills 1 of them on screen. Meanwhile, the guy in the helicopter is playing Snake when suddenly a zombie enters and I guess he eats him. Spoiler, something worse is gonna happen because while Wesker is playing the piano as the device told him to open a secret door, Vickers becomes a zombie. And if there's something we learn in this movie, it's that zombies are dangerous, but more dangerous are when they drive because they drive like shit. Back at the police station, Leon meets 2 guys, one who was almost turned into a zombie, and another who's the one from the video Claire showed to her brother. Anyway, this scene is just an excuse for Ben Bertolucci's cameo, because basically as soon as he gets out of the cell, the zombie attacks him, and both of them end up dead. Oh, and before he dies, he says something important, and that is that the cops are probably immune because they were given some pill or injection without them noticing. Back in the mansion, the 2 cops are still alive, and the door that opened leads them to a tunnel. And there, Wesker tells Valentine that they contacted him a few months ago when Umbrella started moving their operations out of Raccoon, and he doesn't know who they are, he just knows that there's some people with a vested interest in getting all or whatever dirty secret Umbrella is keeping down there and exposing them. So they offered him money for that information, and he's gonna get it to leave that city. And even though she tells him that they have to find their other 2 partners, he tells her that he can't, and for no plot reason, another zombie shows up. And now after that, Wesker goes through the tunnel and leaves his partner alone. Back at the police station, the boss says he knows a way to escape, so they follow him while Claire kills some zombies. Until they finally manage to escape and make it to the orphanage, because it supposedly has a secret way to the Spencer mansion, but it also has Lisa Trevor pointing something out to Leon. But when the rest arrive, there's nothing, and instead, one of these monsters shows up. There, Lisa Trevor tells them that she knows how to take them to the Spencer mansion, and there we see another flashback when they wanted to take Claire and she's able to escape. Finally, Lisa gives them some keys to open the door to one of the tunnels, and there they can enter a kind of elevator. Back in the mansion, Chris keeps walking around until he's attacked by a bunch of zombies, and you can't see a damn thing, but I managed to count the following kills. There, Valentine appears, tells him everything that happened, and they conclude that the best thing to do is to follow Wesker because it's the only way to get out of there. Returning with Claire and Leon, there they find a lot of old films and documents about Ashford twins. And Claire says what I told you before, that that's where Umbrella was taking the children from the orphanage, and there we're experimenting on them. And so that's where they tried to take her, so she freaks out and destroys a book that could be proof against Umbrella. Meanwhile, William is somewhere where they seem to have been experimenting on a zombie until Wesker arrives to take the virus. But there he pulls out a gun and they both shoot each other. And then William's wife grabs the gun and Wesker ends up killing her. After that, William injects himself with the G virus and Wesker shoots him. And I'm not gonna count the kill because watching the movie, you realize that he's still alive for sure. The one who seems to be about to die is Wesker, because when the girl points the gun at him, Valentine appears and shoots him, and before dying, he tells them that Umbrella's gonna destroy the whole city, and they must catch a train to go to the other side of the city. And now finally, Wesker dies. And as it was expected, later they show us that William is still alive, or, well, zombie, but the point is he's not dead. The rest escape, and as Chris can't get through the door, they have to split up and hide. At one point he finds him and is about to kill him, but then Claire appears, shoots him a couple times, and now he seems to die.
Bullshit.
But that fight was so shitty to be the last one, so Leon appears and together with Claire, Chris, the girl, and Valentine manage to escape. Oh, and that fight sucked because William is still alive. By this time, there are 5 minutes left for the whole city to explode, and our protagonists start a train to get to the other side of the city. The problem is that there must be something inside the train because otherwise the end of the movie will be terrible. At one point it's 6 a.m. and I don't know how, but the whole city starts to sink and the train stops. And on top of that, they start to hear strange noises on top of the train, and comes none other than William to have the final battle against our protagonists. And I guess now, yes, William finally died. The problem is that the whole city explodes and obviously destroyed the Spencer mansion, and finally the outbreak is contained, and according to Umbrella, civilian survivors were 0, but actually there were our 5 protagonists.
But wait! There's more!
Of course there are more, because in the post-credits scene, Wesker revives, or I guess he must be a clone like in the previous movies. And there appears Ada Wong, who tells them that he was dead and can't see because one of the side effects of bringing him back. And finally she tells him that there will be others like him, and there she gives him glasses.
What do you want from me?
So ends Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City, with a total of 37 kills. Anyway, that's not that much. What really matters is that a few days ago, the Summarizer reached 10,000 subscribers. Thanks to everyone who subscribed to make this possible. I hope you like the next videos, and don't forget to comment what other kill counts you'd like to see. Thanks again, and as always, see you later.
Go to work.
Okay. Bye.